What up, everybody? Let me turn this down a little bit. We got to talk. Let's talk real quick. I didn't do a scheduled show tonight. I apologize. Kind of chaotic today. Had a bunch of stuff to do, especially with work. Shit that I didn't want to do today, to be very frank. But unfortunately, when it comes down to business decisions, you got to do things that you don't want to do. And so today I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to talk. I didn't really want to do a whole lot, but there's times you still got to push through. What up, Chris? Glad you're here, buddy. But yeah, I didn't want to deal with what I had to deal with today. I didn't want to do those things. They're tough things, but when you are leading and managing people, sometimes you have to do those things, and it sucks. But I had to come on and talk about the situation that happened today because I see pandering politicians again. Everybody knows that's like my weakness is pandering politicians that don't do shit. But they get your they try to get your buy-in and get your support by manipulating you. And every single one of the politicians today that we're all talking about the shooting today, were so many of them that were saying prayers. Yes, prayers. There were people affected, and excuse me. Prayers are important, but when it comes down to what is going on, these situations are used. I appreciate it, Chris and Emily. But when it comes down to these politicians and the shit that they're saying is absurd and it's insane, and I'm shocked that people are not seeing through it. Well, I guess I should say I'm shocked that not as many people are seeing through it that I would expect. But as you guys know, there was a shooting that was done today in Minnesota. A bunch of politicians were all backing and saying, in the sense of, we need to go after guns. No, we need to talk about mental illness in this country. It's a real thing. Why are we ignoring it? It's an important topic that we need to address. And it's not just anything with transgenders or anything. Mental illness is real. Mental illness needs attention. And as a country, we are completely ignoring it. I don't understand why we are accepting politicians to create laws for stupid shit all day long for other things that don't even matter, but we can't address this one topic. When it comes down to the situation with mental illness, it affects a lot of people. And let's remove the transgender part, right? And let's take it in a different direction. Mental illness is affecting a lot of people in different ways. And there's not really good avenues to deal with this. And some conspiracy theorists would go down the rabbit hole and really point the finger at saying that this is the way the system wants everything, is everybody to start pointing fingers at each other, which I agree. But it doesn't mean that we can't be calling out the actual problem. And we need to be doing that. We need to be calling out the actual problem. And the actual problem in these situations is we have to have channels to address mental illness and these situations that we're in. Guns are not the problem. You guys know me, like right here on this side, right here. I have a little mini AR-15 up there. I love guns, and guns are an important thing in America. In my opinion, America would not be where we are at today if we did not support the Second Amendment. You take the Second Amendment away, they will take your First Amendment very quickly. The reason why we still have our First Amendment is because the Second Amendment is going to be right there behind it to back it up and support it. when it comes down to these situations, I know this is dark, like guys, this whole thing, and everybody knows me. I'm going to be on a stronger 2A stance than some, but guns are not the problem. Like I've had a few people today come into my comments and try to tell me, well, and even yesterday, 100 plus for Second Amendment. Sorry, wrong. But when it comes down to this situation with guns, like guns don't just go firing themselves. It has to have somebody to use the tool. Guns are a tool. Are they dangerous? Absolutely. But when it comes down to these situations, when these things happen, free, when these things happen, I work in tech. Most of you guys know I work in tech, right? Tech is my life. I love it. I live it. I do it all day, in work, outside of work. I love it. But one of the big things in tech that we always push to make sure that we're not repeating the same issue and we don't end up having the same issue coming back, you push for root cause. You get to root cause and you solve root cause. And root cause in these situations that we're having these situations come up is mental illness. We have to open this up to where we are addressing this issue. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm not saying that person doesn't, we should just push them away. I am saying they need help, but we have removed all avenues to give them help. Now, there's other things that are worrying me with this one situation today. And I posted one of the screenshots of the video of what that shooter, shout out, like, Laura Loomer, you're a fraud. You're stealing other people's content. You're posting it to get monetization when many other people have posted the videos and the pictures well before you did, and you never gave anybody any credit. Shame on you. And you've done this several times to even people that I know and I associate with here on X. I don't care about your political views because I don't see eye to eye with some of them, but I will respect for the diligence and the work that they put in to make sure that the content is getting out there. And Laura Loomer, you are stealing it. It's not fair and it's not right. You should not be doing that. But I digress. When it comes down to this mental illness situation, we have to have avenues to address these. We removed all of that. The government removed all of that. Was that a plan? Probably, because the government knows what's going to happen. I think there's some signs in this that this guy, girl, whatever you want to call it, had problems. That video is disturbing, guys. Have you guys seen the video that was recorded? Because that video, that says enough that person shouldn't have been able to have all of those rounds in their room. Shouldn't have had direct access to those things with the way that they're thinking. But I'm not asking for government regulation. I'm asking for their friends and their family to be getting involved and be like, hey, you need help. This is where you need friends and family involved to be able to hold you accountable and make sure you are delivering and doing the things that you should be to be upstanding in society. You can't. I did not post the video, Cash, but I will. I'll go post the video. I post a clip of it. If you look, he does a hand signal like this in the middle in it when he's pointing at the guns and mumbling stupid shit. And this person needed help. Why is it the people around him didn't offer help? We don't need to be looking at the government for help, but the government's not enabling us to have the right access for these things to be able to get them help. That's the solution to these things. And I agree, Terry, it is really sick. Like, you listen to that video, you can hear the way they talk and the way they do things, and you're like, this is wrong. Like, everything about this video is wrong. Matter of fact, shit, let's fine. Let me pull up the video. Let's go over this. Yeah, you can send it to him, Terry. I'm going to pull it up right now. I don't want you guys to trust me. We're going to pull it up and we're going to go through it. Why not? because this is what concerns me today, guys. We are not really getting to root cause. We are not addressing issues. We are really only moving forward. Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to figure out what tab. That's not the right one. Bear with me one sec. Not now. Hang on. Hey, Barbara, I see you. Chris says the government does not allow friends and family to help because they are not professional. Facts, Chris. Like, that's the thing. It's similar stuff to what you've talked about just recently, man. Like, the government feels that they have to be the ones to help us. No, we have to stop asking the government to help. What, I'm black now, Cash? Not what you're saying? Miss you too, buddy. But here it is. Let me go pull up this video. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, I would have had this ready. I wasn't planning on it. But it's important. We need to touch on these things. We need to go over this stuff. And I see others doing it. I do. I feel obligated because I've been missing shows each week for the last couple weeks. I got a lot of shit going on in my life. And so I'm off my game a little bit. But shout out to Alexander Duncan for releasing the photos of the stuff around the shooter, and then Laura Loomer still in that shit. Shame on you, Laura. But let me pull this up on the screen here. Come on, let's go. There we go. So this is the video. Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's good to see you guys, though. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad I've been trying to get back. I've been busy. A lot of things in my personal life and with work. It's really not really messing with my mood. That's a lot of things. I don't want to come on here and be a doomer all the time. I don't. And so days that I'm down, I don't want to get in here. And even today I didn't want to, but this is a topic that we have to talk about. And I even know a couple of you in the comments that we disagree on some of the LGBT and transgender stuff, but this is not about that. It's part of that. But this is about, we need to get to root cause of this problem. And the root cause of this problem is the mental illness that no one's talking about. Very few people. I saw a couple posts today, but my post earlier today went nuts. Like within 45 minutes, it had several thousand views on it because I asked, when are we going to address the mental illness? Not shaming anybody. It's just a problem that we need to bring attention to. And that's what it is. Don't turn it into anything else other than that. We have to address this. Mental illness is a thing in a lot of ways that you have to reach out to help each other. Like I have stories for days that I could give you about. Hang on, let me get rid of the screen sharing so I'm off of that. But I could tell you all kinds of stories that my friends bailed me out of all kinds of things because my friends are the ones that were the closest to me and helped me out in the darkest days, right? And in these situations, when you have these come up, your friends are the ones that keep you in line. They're friends that keep you from going off of that cliff. Your friends are the ones that kind of keep you going. Now, you got to pick and choose some of your friends. You got to make sure you have good friends that are looking out for you. Because sometimes there's friends that take you down the wrong path, right? But when it comes down to this mental illness issue, we got to be bringing these things to the forefront and giving solutions, not blaming the tool. Crime, suicides, and untreated mental health issues go way up in a bad economy. I agree with you, Scientific. But I can't say we're in a bad economy. It's not healthy, but it's not as bad as it was a few years ago, 2 years ago. But I get what you're saying. I agree. But I think that's going down the path of the political discourse and the divide that everybody wants us to focus on. It still doesn't change root cause. If you fix the economy, those people will still have bad mental problems and they will probably continue. Some will pull themselves out, but they will still, some of them, most of them will probably still continue down this negative rabbit hole. We really need to work on this and bring this whole thing to light. And yeah, Cash, I saw you were live earlier. My day was a mess, and so I didn't have a chance to check it or tune in. Adam B, people have to acknowledge they have a problem before someone can help them. Yes and no. I agree with you. You can't help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. 100% agree with you. But if you don't actually highlight it to them, they might not see it. You need someone to mention it and bring it to the forefront and put it in front of their face so they can see it and sometimes resonate with it. If that's not happening, they may never ever see it. They may never be able to address it because they don't realize it. This is where I think that we need to work on those things. And I see you, Rita, and I see you, Sarah. Thank you for joining. Glad you guys are here. I'm just doing a random show. I didn't do a scheduled show today. I just wasn't in the mood. But as I scroll social media, this stuff is what's bothering me. And I need to do this. We need to talk about it. Let's see. People with nothing to lose commit atrocities. Giving people something to lose is typically the workaround. I don't disagree with you, man. That's a valid thing. It's valid. I just see that we're taking the blame or going down that path of that divide that our political parties and our government tries to push us in. And that's not the solution I see here. Yeah, Chris, it's late for me though. I like to get things done with work early, and then I'll spend the rest of my night messing with AI, hanging out with Emily and watching movies or shows. But maybe we play around with it. I agree. But let's watch this video because this video is fucking, like, to be honest, guys, it's creepy. It's very fucking creepy. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure a lot of people have because this is way late than everything breaking earlier today. I'm not trying to be breaking news, right? But this has a concern. This guy is freaking thing is weird. Iowa's certificate of need laws prevent 5 different mental health facilities from opening so far. That's my issue, dude. That's what I'm talking about. The government is not allowing us to actually somehow facilitate the solution. So it is on us. There's still solutions. The solution is us, your friends, your family, everybody that's around you should be calling you out when there's something that you're going down the wrong path. Don't do it instantly. Don't do it to aggravate or start a fight. But we need to be calling it out and helping each other. That's not happening. You need to have people in your corner. If you don't have people in your corner, you do shit like what happened today. That is where people don't realize who they actually have in their corner. But let's go over this. Let's watch this. Let me know if you guys can hear that. I'm going to crank the volume on that. Hang on. There we go.
Here's my note to my family and shit. Some English writing.
So a manifesto.
Hope you can read that.
And to be clear, I haven't read this yet. I plan to slow this down, like pause this, read each page.
Love, unity, and guns.
Hey, Lori, I see you. Watch this hand signal he throws. It throws.
9mm. Get fucked.
See,
This message
something wrong.
brought to you by BlackRock and ExxonMobil. Sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I'm going to pause this real quick. I'm going to pull this down. He was just naming BlackRock and Vanguard and others. It's hard to understand him a little bit. Well, in this thing. But you can tell the behavior. That's not normal. And when you have friends, you should have friends that hold you accountable and guide you and lead you if you're in a dark place. Unfortunately, this person didn't have that. And they went to go, unfortunately, unalive many other people. This is where we have to be open and talk about mental illness in this country. When the government gets involved and they start telling you what you can or cannot do, it is a very weird thing. Think about the drug problem in this country, the war against drugs. How successful was that? In my opinion, it completely failed because all it did is create more of a demand for it. Mental illness, as Scientific mentioned, several licenses are not being able to follow through to be able to open in Iowa for mental health. Mental health is important. Times get tough. And we have to be able to help these people. And I'm not saying government regulation and government help. Us, the people around, can do those things. And how we do that is actually coming together and actually calling out the problems and listening to each other. The division that we create, that is being created by our government, regardless of party. So I know some of you might be Trumpers saying that, oh, it's the Democrats. So some of you are Democrats and are saying, oh, it's Trump. No, it's the entire fucking system, guys. You got to stop with this party divisive bullshit. We have to start looking at root cause. And Chris knows this, Terry knows this, Free knows this. One of the things that I've been talking a lot about lately is accountability. We don't have accountability in society anymore. We make excuses and we justify why someone's behavior. And we have to bring accountability back. Yeah, Rita, this is not even the worst part yet. We're going to go through it. But we got to bring accountability back. We don't hold people accountable. That's where I like Trump's thing of removing no cash bail. I actually don't mind that because now the system can't like the corrupt people that get out. For example, those Antifa members that go around and start riots and breaking into buildings and all of these things, they don't get out the next day because the system was able just to kind of weasel their way through it. I don't think that that's a proper use of the judicial system. I think that's some of the corruption that needs to go away. So I do agree with that. But bringing this back to what we were talking about, mental health in this situation with the shooter, when are we going to actually talk about this stuff, guys? It's not bad. I'm not saying this person is, this person's a bad person. Clearly, they took people's lives, right? But we need to acknowledge we can improve in this area instead of blaming the tool that is done. And as I pointed out early on, right here on my bookshelf, my mini AR-15 that doesn't even work, but it sits up there. I'm a big 2A guy. I support the Second Amendment, and I am a 2A absolutist. I believe any law, any gun law is infringement on the Second Amendment. And I got in arguments with people yesterday over this, on some of my posts. When it comes to 2A, any gun law is an infringement on that right. Wish Trump would do that sooner like now. I agree, Rita. This is where I don't want to call for government intervention, but the government has caused some roadblocks. The government has to remove those. But ultimately, that is not where we can place blame. We can step up and do more. We can join people. We can actually bring people out of the ruts or the hellhole they're going through. Because we've all been there. We've all had those bad days. Unfortunately, I'm experiencing a few of them right now, but it is what it is. I wouldn't get through it without my friends, my wife, my family. And this person seems like that's what they don't have. And we got to figure out a way to help these people. And generally, it's friends that will do it. Friends will call out, hey, this person's not doing well. And I think we're creating a culture in society that we don't even want to do that anymore. But let's get back into this video. A sad thing is when you do and go and try and get some mental health help is doctors just push pills from pharmaceuticals. I agree. But I'm not going to say pharmaceuticals can't be a short-term help. So don't let that stop you from moving in a different direction. When it comes down to these situations, sometimes they can be an aid, but you got to make sure that you're not being dependent on them. For example, my wife is amazing and she has neuropathy. It's really difficult to diagnose and there's really no solution. My wife found her solution. It's through diet. And I believe diet can help a lot of these situations if we wanted to openly talk about it and find solutions. Not look for professionals or experts to come up with the solutions. We all come together and figure it out. Like scientific, him and I disagree on quite a few things from a medical standpoint. But he knows a lot in that world. And that, of course, that's stuff that I would talk to him about and we would figure out because I would listen to him. Would we probably agree on everything? Probably not. But guess what? I bet we could come up with a compromise and be like, that would probably work. We don't do that in America anymore. Today, we shame someone because we disagree on one topic. We may agree on 5 million other topics, but because we disagree on one, we find a reason to shame them and we get rid of them in our lives. That's wrong. That is anti-American. Americans look out for each other and help each other. We don't allow one topic to ruin an entire friendship or family. And that's what's difficult is our government is really controlling and doing a lot of bad things today. But let's jump back into this video, guys. I'm going on some rants, and I that's not my intent, but it's stuff we need to talk about, right? And when it comes down to it, this video is super disturbing, very disturbing, and I have a few people on X that have talked about mental illness today. In my opinion, I think a couple of them were more for clicks, not really looking into it. But I've been saying every single one of these shootings that goes on, it's mental illness. But let's look at this. Nika says we need to put more emphasis on holistic health. Holistic medicine. I agree with you. I agree. Axel says make food your medicine before medicine becomes your food and is my choice. I agree, Axel. And good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you here.
Brandon Herrera.
Let's go through this. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, I met Brandon Herrera at SHOT Show last year. He and I had a brief conversation, but we agreed on a lot of things. So y'all should vote for Brandon Herrera for president.
This is what's weird. You should vote Brandon Herrera for president. And I met him at SHOT Show last year. And then he's playing with a whole bunch of, it looks like 9mm rounds. I could be wrong, but it looks like 9mm. This guy is this thing, whatever you want to call it, I struggle with this world, which is why I say that I don't belong talking about it, but because I'm going to offend somebody. But it clearly, thinking and talking like this, the way they're talking, there's some problems there. There's some health issues. Just watch the hand signal here,
Vintage warfare.
right there.
Promotes.
You just see that? This I posted on social media when I saw this
Vintage
earlier today when I
warfare.
had a minute. Right there. The hell is that about? And I posted a picture on social media with it too. A bunch of celebrities and Obama posting picture. Well, they have pictures of them doing that multiple times. Like, what is this? What is up with this? Like, this is where my conspiracy hat comes on, guys. Like, there's symbolism in here in some way. And is this an MK Ultra subject or what? Overall, this is not healthy. This person's not healthy.
Promotes love and peace and accepting differences.
And then he goes over, grabs a few other rounds. Those are definitely bigger rounds. I don't know what those are. It's hard to tell.
Tomorrow.
Those 223s
I'm
potentially.
sorry to my family.
Those potentially could be 223s.
But that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Fuck those kids.
But this is the video that this guy released. It was also posted, I believe it came from YouTube. This person's YouTube channel. You can't tell me.
Shit.
Good to see you, Axel. Thanks for tuning in. And then a vape cartridge, obviously. All right.
I didn't ask.
If you want to vape, it's cool.
You didn't ask for death.
Yeah, Chris, but if you put on your conspiracy theory hat a little bit, that symbol takes you down some rabbit holes, is what I'm saying. It's weird.
Yeah. Watch my 9mm go bang.
Here's more. Picture of Jesus on a shooting target, guys. And he's laughing. And then look at some of this stuff. Like, he was promoting Brandon Herrera for president. But then you look at some of these magazines. They got writings all over them saying different things. One of them has "Kill Trump" or something Trump on it. So clearly this person isn't a Trump fan.
Yes.
Fuck you, eat shit. Okay. I love you. Weird. Where is your good?
Where's your fucking God now?
Yeah, it's a weird rabbit hole, Chris. You'll go down it for a while, I'm telling you. Suck on this. Okay. And then this one has, I don't know what those are. I don't know what half of those words mean. Those don't all look like English. Huh. Then Psycho Killer.
Skibbity Riz.
Change My Stars. Scum Game. For the Children. What the freak? And then the oversized capacity magazine.
The big boy.
Right here. Kill Donald Trump.
Fucking rip and tear.
Let me go back. Look at that. Since when can you put something like that? Why isn't the left? It's Russian. I can believe that, Terry. That looks right for Russian. But if it's Russian, Terry, they should be Trump's best friend if we're paying attention to mainstream media and the government, right? But since when are you able to put the president's name in a threat to them? And you put this on social media, and mainstream media isn't talking about it or saying this person needs help. They are trying to assassinate our president. This is the corrupt world we're in. You guys all know this. This is not a surprise. Satanic Star on one of the magazines. I agree. I didn't recognize it as the Satanic Star, but it probably was. These are the horrible things that we're allowing in this country, that
Fucking ripping.
because we're letting political divides push us and
Big
sway
one.
us. Be like, oh, it doesn't impact me. We're moving on.
Don't forget to live, laugh, and love.
Live, laugh, love. Okay. But overall, like, guys, you hear him talk, try not to talk over him or it, whatever. And clearly, this kid was never, ever, this kid was never taught anything of proper gun handling or anything. Look at that finger on that trigger. If this person had a good parent that really taught them how to handle a gun and how to properly do it, that you would get your ass chewed out in my world. If you did that and you're trying to show it off in a camera in your room, you would get your ass chewed, and every single one of those firearms would be removed from your possession, and for you to be able to have access to them, you have to earn. As a kid, when I was growing up, you couldn't do stuff like that. It would teach you a lesson, because you don't have your finger on that trigger unless you're intending to take out what's in front of it. That tells me this person is deranged and has these guns because they're not healthy. Axel, links don't work in the chat, man. A lot of people can't click on them. It really doesn't do well. Yeah, I agree, Steven. I 100% agree. Like, just that alone, I would have got my ass chewed out by doing something like that. And by the way, there's guns. They're not guns. Fucking look at me. I can't even speech. Look at that revolver. It's got bullets in it. It's loaded. And he's pointing it at the freaking camera and itself, whatever. Fucking hell. This is awful. That is not a gun owner.
Some smoke, extra thick.
I agree, Scientific. I agree. This is funny. I thought
thick.
Extra thick. But then guess what? The internet. Let's do this. Hang on, internet. I got you.
Smoke.
We can't do a video without talking about the Jews. We got to talk about the Jews because that's what's popular on the fucking internet. Like, no. This, like, freaking stupid.
Extra thick.
This is what's wrong, guys. This person needs help. Clearly, they need help. They have a president's name written with a threat on a magazine. They're worried about a religion, on a smoke grenade, or whatever you want to call that thing. They are really deranged. Was the safety even on? It was a revolver. Like, you'd have to cock it, right? Like, but yeah, it doesn't matter if the safety's on. You never put your finger on the trigger. Now, this is a shotgun with, yeah, like what Terry was saying. It looks like a whole bunch of Russian all over it. I can believe it. We'll zoom through this. We'll skip through it a little bit. We'll see while you're here. Mirror me, kill pedos. Okay, interesting. Why are they talking about killing pedos? Why is that a thing? I'm not going to go do it with a rifle, but I also don't I talk about it on social media. Wood chippers are very useful for those people, and I stand by that. But like, this person really needed help.
Pleasure
Where is this
here.
person's family? Where are their friends? Are they ignoring this person? They just walked away because they don't want to be associated with them.
Oh, another one.
We really need to be looking out for these people and your friends and your family, because mental health, you can't go through the normal healthcare channels to get help with that. I agree, Axel. Carelessness, I agree, Chris.
Fuck Nigel.
Was the safety even on? I couldn't tell. I already went over that.
Creeps.
Don't disagree, Casey. Just went down a dark thought. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
see how what I mean by this video is disturbing, guys.
Headphones.
This is not a healthy person.
Screen.
Fear. What is that? A face mask?
Oh,
Oh, another gun in a
yeah.
holster. What is that? A belt that they were gonna wear? Probably, because it looks like that's where you put a bunch of magazines. All right, see you, Axel. Talk to you later, man.
Plug.
Oh, and then a knife. Okay.
Oh yeah, check. I got my shirt. Cause you better than the best. Got my
Some Russian shirt, I assume.
Fucking
Yeah.
FSB. Maybe I look like a cop and I won't get rushed.
A lot of things don't add up with this.
Shit,
Why was Ryan
this
Ruth a huge
for
advocate for Ukraine
marketing.
when he was trying to take out
Yeah.
Donald Trump?
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Listen to that. Is that someone that's healthy?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Check this out. Got more Jew
I'm gonna get there, Madam B. I'm gonna get there in just a minute.
This will be for the emergency exit.
420 blaze it. I support your right to do that.
Nigga. Yeah. Tomorrow.
This is what I mean, guys. Like, you see this? This is not normal. This is not healthy. This video is almost done. We'll just stop here. But this is what I'm talking about. We need to find ways to help each other and kind of come around and aid in these situations. And I take a little bit of this personally because of friends. I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't have the friends that I had when I was growing up. The friends that I had kept me from going down some bad things. I had some bad friends. I had some bad cousins. Could have gone down some bad paths in my life, but what kept me from doing that was some good friends. I hung out with them instead, and they wanted me around. But when it comes down to this entire situation, the only thing that we can do is to be able to try to reach out and help others and be there for others. Now, I'm not saying expend your life and go and bend the knee for them forever. But at least try to help. A lot of people don't want to take on that burden because their life is already too busy and they have too much going on. They don't want to take on anything else. They can't. But sometimes it just takes that simple conversation of, "Hey, are you all right? Let's go to lunch. Come over here for dinner. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Let's watch football. Let's watch the UFC fights." Like, bring them away from the chaos and into some sort of normalcy, and that helps. in a lot of ways, and it goes a long ways. But this kid, like Jill just mentioned, I agree with you, Jill. How did his mom not know that he was sick? How did anybody in that house or a friend not know this type of behavior was going on? Madam B talked about if this was posted the day before, why wasn't this caught? I blame social media. We look at social media will silence, and this is not conservatives are being silenced on social media. No, this is social media silencing what they choose to do and not really putting an equal effort across the board. If social media wanted to crack down on things like this video should have been able to be triggered super quick by AI analyzing the content of the video and having it going to somebody's feed and for review. And it could have been done. Now, am I calling for that? No. I'm calling that the hypocrisy with social media, that they target only certain things, but they don't, and in the name of trying to help and be protecting people and protecting society, but they're not doing it equally. That's the problem. I could create an AI with ChatGPT local model with their new stuff. I could create a system that would analyze this and pick this up really easily. Like anything, like you should be able to write in some sort of analyzer that would go through your video and be like, does it say kill Donald Trump? I'm sure everybody in this country would agree you shouldn't be writing kill this president on anything, especially if it's coming down to a magazine and saying this is normal. But we can't be looking, again, I've said this before, we can't be looking to government to help. So yes, there are technological ways that this can be solved and be done, but the problem is then we're asking the government for intervention. We're asking the government for more regulation. Those are not the solution. The government created these problems. They are not the ones to issue the solution. We are. So we need to be helping people. When you see somebody in need, reach out and help. Just ask them, like, are you all right? Do you want to talk? Let's go to lunch. Let's go to dinner. Come over here. Come hang out for a little bit. It's simple things like that, guys. That's all you need to do. I have a cousin that had a horrible addiction problem. And that was, I didn't want to be an enabler, but that was my way of really being able to connect with him is, hey, like he would reach out and try to talk. And I'd be like, let's go to lunch. I'll buy you lunch. Let's go. Just kind of get in tune and see how things are going. I learned just before I went to Florida a couple months ago. Just before I went to Florida. Oh, actually a few months ago. Holy shit, time is flying. He graduated from his rehab place and he's doing amazing. Huge kudos to him. But the way he did that is other people coming around and helping. The government didn't help. The government doesn't help rehabs for the most part. The rehabs just milk the money from the government to be able to make themselves rich. It's the people that want to help each other fix those situations. But first, like Madam B mentioned earlier, they have to want help, right? They have to want help. That is true. But when we're getting into these situations, sometimes you have to be able to highlight it politely and so they can actually recognize it. Sometimes they don't recognize it. I get that. But we really need to start talking about mental health in this country. We really need to be hounding our congressmen and elected officials to release the restrictions and the regulations on mental health facilities. That's the root cause and the solution to this, guys. That's the solution here. I think that they knew something was off with him, but didn't want to believe it, so they choose to ignore it. I agree, Rita. I 100% agree with you. We can't be doing that. We got to be working. Like, that's where I talked about the word accountability earlier. We got to be holding each other accountable. And that's a big part of fixing this stuff is to be able to hold them accountable and be like, you can do better. But not extend your life. Like, I don't want you to be going millions of dollars in debt, and I don't want you to be doing all of these things just to help somebody. But you can at least try to bring it to light politely and try to get them back on track. Lots of people ignore the wrong in the people, Rita. I agree. Government doesn't want to give up the control. 100% agree, Stephanie. 100% agree. Hang on. I want to see that comment. Bear with me one sec, guys. I have my camera to where I can't click. There we go. Where did that one go? So this is the one I wanted to pull up. So if the families are powerless, what do we do? So sad. I just keep shaking my head. I agree, Jill. Unfortunately, there's only so much we can do, right? But we can do more by just reaching out to try to help people, and try to bring them around good things and guide them. But please don't overexert, because they have to. Madam B's right. They have to want help to be able to really change. This person for the solution, I'm not guaranteeing a friend who didn't reach out and didn't try that. But there seems to be a trend that we don't have real mental health facilities, and so it becomes a problem. And that is the government's fault. The government is removing and putting regulation in place to where we can't actually acknowledge, and no one wants to talk about mental health anymore. No one. And I'll be frank with this. I believe a lot of the transgender stuff we're seeing is mental health issues. I do not see the transgender stuff as being a realistic thing going forward. But yeah, it's interesting. This is the stuff that I've been thinking about today with this. Of course, I'm also in a little bit of a different mood. Had a rough day. Crazy stuff going on in my life at the moment, but that's how I related to this a little bit. Is I see this video and I heard this person talking and they needed some help. And I don't know if someone did reach out. I hope someone did, but it seems like in today's world, you don't want to reach out to help anymore. A lot of people don't. Good to see you, Jenny. I see your comment. I'm glad you're here. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. Well, I did a show last week, but I was thinking of not doing one this week, but just couldn't let this one topic go. We had to talk about it. And mental health is a big concern. We need to be talking about it more and openly talking about it, as in trying to bring light to it, not shame it. Just bring light to it. Kate, replying to Stephanie, government will never willingly give up control. It must be taken away legally. Yeah, I agree, Kate. Taken away is key. Legally, sometimes legally is not an option anymore. And that's, in my opinion, it's getting really difficult to try to do things through the proper process anymore with a government. It's getting tough, really tough. I am Patriot Truth. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. What headline is being changed this time? I know that doesn't help the families, but every time a headline that makes the left look horrific as they are, we have a school shooting. Yeah, that's the other problem, right? Is what are we being distracted from? Or what else is going on? I honestly just came in to talk about mental health because I watched this disturbing video put out by this individual. And I only see and I hear mental health issues hearing this person. And so it's tough, but we need to fix these things, and fixing the first step to fixing these things is talking about it. A lot of people want to let their political divisiveness push their agendas or their actions. But mental health is a serious problem in this country, and we need to address it. We need to talk about it more. So that's what we're talking about now. But I agree with you. I agree exactly what you're mentioning. Jill, to see on the news a little boy saying his friends protected him and got hit broke my heart. Glad to. That's what I'm saying. You need to have friends like that. You need to have friends like that. You need to have family like that. Those are the things that are important, not the government regulation, not asking the government for help or looking for anybody else to come and solve your problems. You need your friends to kind of come and help build you up a little bit and get you out of the rut that you're in. And then most of us will build ourselves up and get out of it. We will. Hey, Patrice, I see you. Thanks, Madam B. I appreciate it. And Iron Patriot of Truth, I appreciate it. I'm good, guys. It's just a rough day. It's rough. I am down a little bit, but it's still good, right? There's still things, and that's why I wanted to come on and talk. Is something's pushing me to do it, so I'm here. But it overall, I'll get through some of this tough stuff that we have going on. Some of you know, I've shared with you directly, some of you in the comments. And today was the D-Day for it, and it was tough. I didn't like it, and I don't want to do that ever again, and I'm going to put myself in a place that I'll never have to do those things again. It's not fun to do what I had to do today. How did this disturbed kid get this far? How as a society did we fail him? Friends and family didn't call him out and ask if he's okay and try to figure out why they are doing this. Why are they looking this direction? Why are they going down this path? That's mostly what I'm seeing here. We can all let our political stuff push us and form judgment, but this whole video we just watched, 11-minute video, we watched 10.5 minutes of it. It's disturbing, guys. Very disturbing. We have to seriously start talking about mental health in this country. And we got to start doing that more. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Mental health. This guy kind of done a couple rants talking about this stuff. Not crazy rants, but just went on some squirrels and stuff. But thank you guys for joining in and talking. This is the stuff, and this is why I love doing this, is you guys all come around, we talk, we have a conversation, and we can collaborate. I think that's how we fix this stuff, right? Is we listen to understand other people's perspectives, and we talk about situations realistically. We don't let bias and all of these things come into play and jade us in the direction that we're going. Let's talk about the facts, the truth, and what really went on. Everything about this for today screams mental illness, and I don't know, probably, 2 to 5% of people were talking about mental illness. Everybody else was talking about the left and their gun grabbing abilities. Like I hate that, because how I started the show, I was telling you guys I'm 2A absolutist. Any gun law is an infringement on the Second Amendment in my book. And so we can't be looking to the government to solve this. We got to find other solutions. And there is nobody better than the American people to come together and fix issues. No one. Americans unite when we can, and we're unstoppable. But we keep forgetting that when the system and the TV tells us to, because our political party wants to go in a different direction. We got to stop letting that guide us. Terry says, politics is drama. I agree. Government is the problem, and we are the only solution. Big facts, Terry. I 100% agree with you. How are we going to get to where we're helping each other in these scenarios? And a lot of it is just talking about it and listening. Jill says, I don't even entertain the blame game of the left and the right. Good, you shouldn't. You know that. Like, look, you know my shirt and everything about me. Like, both of the parties are the problem, a huge problem. And not the whole problem, but a huge problem. And they only want to keep us divided. They only want to keep us pointing at the other side. They only want to keep that division thriving and on fire, because that's how they remain in control, because you're not pointing fingers at those corrupt individuals taking your rights and your paycheck away from you. They want you dependent on the government. They want you to not receive any money and have freedoms. They want you just to go to work, pay your taxes, and consume your aspartame Diet Coke. It's exactly what the system wants you to be doing. And we need to push back against that. And I think we are. It's slow, but we are. Lori says self-induced psychosis from drugs isn't the same as a mental illness. I do believe if we could lock some of these people up for no less than a year, no exceptions, they could get clean and help re-entering society. That's the problem, Lori. The only way you do that is with government. Government's not the solution. They would have to self and throw themselves in there. Of course you do, Scientific. Of course you do. Adam B says more gun laws affect law-abiding citizens, not the mentally ill or the criminals. Big facts. And that's one of my memes tonight that I was going to post here in just a little bit, is red flag laws are not the solution. Red flag laws only allow the government to take more control. And you know damn straight, and I'm gonna stop with this because I don't want to keep pushing the political shit, but you know damn straight Pam Bondi's sending text messages to Donald Trump saying, see, I told you about red flag laws. I told you. That's what Pam Bondi's saying right now, because in 2018, she wanted Donald Trump to be passing red flag laws. She wanted Donald Trump to be enforcing it and pushing it. She is evil. Pam Bondi is evil in my book. The government has taken away all authority and solutions from families. Anything you try to do is neglect or abuse. Many are prisoners in their own home, appeasing as a child that they fear. Facts, Chris. I 100% agree with you there. But we got to stop looking to the government for solutions, guys. That's all I'm saying. I know I talked a lot about things, and a lot of it we naturally, because that's the way we've been brainwashed to think. We've been brainwashed to think that the government has to provide us a solution. No, government is not the solution. Americans are the solution. The government is not the solution. What up, EJ? I see you. They never have been the answer. I agree, man. I agree. No, they wouldn't have to throw themselves into it. Most people break the law every single day. That's where, Lori, this is where we disagree. That's asking for government. I'm not going to ask for more government. You know me better than that. You've been following all of this stuff for a while. I don't like the government. The government is not the solution. And asking them to fix this is only going to take away someone or your rights away. That's the only way the government works. We, Americans, have the ability to fix this. We got to be looking out for one another and understanding one another. Bad choice of words. Ignore that. We need to be listening to understand, not listening to respond. Those are how we fix some of these things, because this kid may just have been able to sit down and talk, and you discard them. I don't know. That's just an assumption, but you got to be able to work with people, and we got to be looking out for one another. Love thy neighbor type of approach. Government is not the solution. Government equals lose agency. I agree, Patrice. Well, guys, I went on for a lot longer than I was planning on it. I told Emily I was going to only do like a 30-minute show because I just feel the need to talk about this stuff. And we talked about these things. Thank you for keeping me up later than 9 p.m. Well, you're welcome. You are welcome. I'm glad you're here though. I mean, a lot of you, I don't get to see you guys in the comments as much because we're not doing truth anymore. But I'm glad you guys are still coming around. I appreciate it, and I I'll get back into doing more shows again. It's been a rough patch in life a little bit recently, so it's been interrupting my podcast life and doing a decent show. I don't like doing these rambling shows because they're not organized and it's a mess. Um, but I still need to do them, and so we'll get back on this horse. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern is my show now, but tonight we didn't schedule it. I just wasn't in the mood and just feel the need to talk about this situation. Terry says we have to look at the issue the same way that we all come together for any other type of natural emergency. I agree with you that even natural emergencies we're starting to not do that very well. A lot of people, and shout out to Vernon for even reminding me on his space last week. No one's talking about Kerrville, guys. Kerrville, it was not long ago that Kerrville was completely washed away. We got to keep bringing these things up and talking about them. We're not Western North Carolina still is not all back. Some people are, but they're still not all back. I believe there are still roads closed. There's still Americans that we can be looking to help. But we find ways to divide ourselves and not help each other. We gotta fix that. I'm not throwing stones in a glass house. I'm equal in that scenario. I admit that. There's times that I could be stepping up and doing more too. I agree. Terry, good to see you. Sad situation, but talking about it is starting to figure out solutions. Facts, Terry. Good to have you here. I'm glad you're here with us. We're wrapping up though, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna start we talk about these things, we bring them to light, and then we can start coming up with solutions. And I know we are the solution. Government is not the solution. We need to be looking at how we help each other and love thy neighbor type of approach. True says we as a society need to have our first knee-jerk reaction to others to be compassion and seek understanding rather to judge and put in a box. Facts. I agree with you. Madam B says, man, I had to back out during all that. It's still close to home for me. I agree. I understand. It's tough. We'll wrap it up here, guys. I thank you for joining in. I just wanted to jump on and talk about this because it was just bothering me today. And this video is disturbing. We have a manifesto, and you know what mainstream media is going to do? Completely forget about the story because it's going against every narrative that they want. They're trying to say, hey, this is an issue. You're trying to blame transgenders. Well, kind of, but not. The root cause of this whole situation is still the whole problem is mental illness. We need to be talking about it. And we're going to do it. We're doing it. We're talking about it right now. But we'll wrap it up, guys. And thank you for tuning in. Jill, Patrice, I see you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And all of you. My view counter is all jacked up. It doesn't show my X numbers. I got Facebook. I got YouTube. I got all of that. But I can look over here on this screen and I see almost 300 viewers on X. Like, I don't know, a few hundred of you. Thank you for tuning in for an unscheduled show and hearing my random talk tonight. But I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in and look out for the next show. Actually, for some of you that haven't heard it, I know some of you guys probably haven't tuned in, but on X and on YouTube, we free one that you guys probably have seen come on the show with Cash and I with Truth a while ago. We do a game show on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's Are You Smarter Than a Politician? And it's 8 p.m. Eastern. It's done on Rumble and it's done on X. It's great. So come in and tune in on that on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's a lot of fun. You guys will laugh your ass off. Come and grab a beer, grab a drink. It's like Concert Avengers, but I have to say it's a lot more fun because we bring more comedy to it, and we don't get as caught up in the seriousness of politics. So tune in with that. And if you guys need links to it, hit me up. I'll send you guys links on where you can tune into it on Tuesdays and Fridays. With that said, you guys have a good night. We'll probably be looking at doing some more shows later this week, but we'll talk later. See you guys.